What's up YouTube, Silver Dragons here, and there's a lot to unpack in this video. First off, we're going to talk about the interest rates possibly going up at the end of the year and how this could lead to much higher gold prices, much higher silver prices. So if you want to invest in gold, if you want to invest in silver and see some returns, maybe get some leverage over just the spot price, I'm going to talk about some ways that you can do that and also what to look for if you are interested in mining companies. Because let's be honest, not all mining companies are going to be successful. So you need to be smart in which ones you pick to invest your money into. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in the video, but first we got to talk about what's going on with inflation, what's going on with interest rates, and what could we possibly see here in the near future. Thank you so much for watching my video. I do sincerely appreciate it. If you want to learn more about investing in precious metals, or if you just want to watch awesome videos about gold and silver, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, so let's get into inflation and interest rates and how this could affect gold and silver, because I've had a few questions in my previous videos regarding this. So let's start off with inflation. Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta President Raphael Bostic said this year's inflation surge is lasting longer than policymakers expected, so it's not appropriate to refer to such price increases as transitory. Transitory is a dirty word, Bostic said in a virtual speech to the Peterson Institute for International Economics on Tuesday. He spoke with a glass jar labeled transitory at his side, depositing $1 each time he used the swear word, as it's become known to him and his staff over the past few months. Here's a look at the inflation chart in this Bloomberg article, and as you can see, it is up. It doesn't appear to be transitory to me. It doesn't appear to be slowing down. In fact, it could go much higher. So what are they going to do about all of this? Bostic, who votes on monetary policy this year, endorsed the Federal Open Market Committee's plans to taper its $120 billion in monthly asset purchases, which is likely to start at its November meeting. And then if we go down the article, it says, Bostic's concern with inflation was echoed by St. Louis Fed President James Bullard, who said he favors starting to taper in November and finishing by the first quarter of 2022 to give the central bank flexibility to raise rates if necessary. Now, I'm sure some of you out there are thinking, okay, it looks like they are going to be raising rates soon. Well, what effect is this going to have on gold and silver? And rather me just talk about it, I figured let's bring in someone who's much more knowledgeable than myself on these topics, Lior Gantz. And here is a clip from my interview I recently did with him.
Every time the Fed has raised rates, historically, since 1971, gold has appreciated by at least 30%. So they did one rate hike spree in 1972, one in 1974, one in 1979, one in 2004, another one in 2018 that ended in the monetary U-turn, where they said, look, we're on autopilot, we're going to keep raising rates, and the markets just fell 20% in December of 2020, when the market said, well, if you're going to keep raising rates, well, then stocks are not that valuable, because now there's an alternative. I can buy some bonds and and diversify. Everyone in the world, corporations, households, everyone are addicted to a lifestyle of zero rates. If you start raising the price of money, it creates so many problems around the economy that what you're going to see is a huge crash, just like you saw in December of 2018. And so I think the market is wrong about how much the Fed can be aggressive with raising rates. And I think once they start raising them, gold has at least a 30% upside from 1,700. So 30% from 1,700 is about $500. That means, in my opinion, we at least, once the Fed starts raising rates, we're going to see gold at least go to $2,200.
Now the question becomes, if Lior is right and we are going to see a 30% increase in the spot price of gold here in the near future, how can you capitalize on this? Because yeah, if you just put your money into physical gold, then you would see a 30% increase. But how can you get leverage over the spot price of gold and actually do better? How can you beat it? Now, the best way traditionally to do that is to invest in mining companies. Now, picking which mining companies you want to invest in can be tricky because, yes, not all mining companies are successful. So what I do is actually take some advice from my good friend Yankee Stacking, and I use what he calls the Yankee quadrant when looking at these companies. That is looking at the management, ownership, projects, and financials of the companies to decide if those all make sense, then it could be a good investment for me. Now, one thing I would like to add is a little secret sauce sprinkled on top, and that's looking at the timing. Is the timing right for this company specifically? Is the timing right for gold or whatever metal they're mining in general? So those are the things that I look for. Now, I am super excited because I was able to partner with Altaley Mining to bring you this video. So let's take a look at their company, break them down into the different categories, and see how they hold up as an investment opportunity. The first thing you should know about Altaley Mining is that they are not like other junior mining companies which are exploring and developing. Altaley is already generating cash flow, so they have a profitable zinc mine. However, they have the permits and they're constructing a second mine. So in just a few months, the company will be running another mine, and this one is a gold mine. Now, before we get into the projects, let's first take a look at the management at Altaley Mining. So the president, director, and CEO is Ralph Shearing, and not only does he have 32 years experience managing and directing publicly listed companies, but he also is a professional geologist, and he's been practicing since 1981. So he's been involved in several very large world-class exploration and development projects throughout Canada. So not only does he have invaluable practical experience, but also a well-rounded business approach to a junior resource company. David Rhodes is the chairman and director of Altaley Mining, and he does have over 30 years experience in the finance industry, and as a result has arranged over $10 billion for funding for mining companies across the globe. With a team like this, I would say the management at Altaley Mining is stellar. As far as ownership is concerned, the share structure is so tight between management, directors, close associates, and institutions. 67% of shares are tightly held. This is a rare advantage. Pivoting over to their projects, the first of two is Campo Morado, which is their profitable zinc mine. And here's a word from Ralph, the president and founder, talking about their profits as well as a potential expansion of this mine.
And, it was $16.6 million in net revenue for the quarter. And, one of the other things that I believe we can still continue to increase is all of the recoveries, base metal and precious metals. We actually have a pilot plant that's finally reached site. It's just being set up. And we'll be conducting 3 months of really hard metallurgical testing to try to improve base metal recoveries and precious metal recoveries.
And their second project, Tahuehueto, is the real cherry on top. It's set to add 30,000 ounces of annual gold production plus silver and base metal byproducts. This is excellent because it changes Altaley Mining from a base metal miner to a gold-focused business, and that attracts better shareholders. And their all-in sustaining cost to extract 1 ounce of gold out of the ground is $808. With the spot price of gold around $1,800, their profit potential is massive. I've already touched on their financials, but they do have the current and ongoing cash flow generation at Campo Morado, as well as the Tahuehueto project, and both of these are 100% owned. And lastly, if we look at the timing for everything, there could be a very strong rally for gold in the near future, and Altaley Mining is launching their gold mine very shortly, so the timing really is perfect here. If you want some more information about Altaley Mining so you can do your own due diligence on them, I will put a link down below in the description. Those are all of the things I look for in mining companies when I'm thinking about investing in them. So again, we have the management, the ownership, the projects, the financials, and the timing. Is the timing right? Now, with gold potentially on the brink of another breakout, I feel like the timing couldn't be more perfect. And if you want to have leverage over just the spot price of gold, then really mining companies are what you should be doing your due diligence on. I want to say a massive thank you again to Altaley Mining for partnering with me and helping make this video possible. And if you have any questions about them or investing in mining companies, gold, anything at all, feel free to leave those down below in the comment section. Again, that link for Altaley Mining will be down in the description. And lastly, I want to say a massive thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Silver Dragons out.